Politica all the way. Politica all the way. Politica all the way.
Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and those watching all over the world at nakikinig po sa ating podcast. Ito po ang Politica All the Way with Jojo A. Dito po, lagi po natin pinag-uusapan ng the issues of the day that are very important to us, no? Especially the Filipino people na medyo nandun po sa gusto nating tulungan na sa buhay nila, no? Here, we just talk about the issues. There's nothing to resolve. We just talk about it in the hope that we will come to a resolve. And ngayon, I'm very excited with our guest dahil po ang isa sa mga nakita natin na napag-usapan din natin before with our previous guest, ang ating daw pong dapat pagtuunan ng pansin is actually yung ating agricultural sector. Dahil parang in a way, sabi, yan po at Pilipinas po ay ang daming area ng food basket. Dapat yan din ang money basket natin, no, sa Pilipinas. So, without further delay, ang ating pong guest is right on the button para po sa bagay na ito, no? Siya po ay ang Senior Advisor for Agriculture ng Go Negosyo. He was a former Agriculture Secretary during the previous administration kay Duterte administration. And more than anything else, siya po ay, he is a son of a farmer. Talagang, that's the closest you can get. Sabi nga, ang magtanim ay di biro. At ako hindi nagbibiro. Pag sinasabi ko sa inyo, dati siyang nagtatanim. Ha? Pero this time, nagtanim talaga siya ng napakaganda, napakaraming mga bagay para sa mga Pilipino, no? Especially in the agricultural sector. Please welcome on the program, Secretary Dr. William Dar. Ayan.
Salamat, Joe, for this opportunity. At maganda itong programa mo, Politica All the Way.
Oo nga, all the way. Kasi kung saan-saan daw tayo mapupunta niyan pag nagkataon.
It's good you are also discussing one major area in the country that is of high priority for the whole country. And that's food security. That's from agriculture.
That's right, that's right.
So, tama. At napapanahon kasi, during this campaign for the midterm elections, dapat ang isang plataforma na mataas doon sa mga kandidato ay tungkol sa food security. Paano maiangat, paano maasikaso ang ating agrikultura para mabigyan ng diin ang mga suliranin para mapataas po natin ang ating productivity and also increasing the incomes of farmers.
Okay.
So it's a big challenge.
I know the big challenge is productivity talaga and income for the farmers.
Opo.
Kasi one thing, I siguro you will validate this, Secretary. Yung pong ibang mga bansa, mayayaman, even financially, yung mga farmers, no?
Tama po.
Dito sa Pilipinas, pag sinabi mo kami ay magsasaka lang, parang nadidimin pa sila, kaya parang mali eh.
That
Diba?
we have to, set aside as a mindset.
Yes, yes.
And bring to the core and make it one good thing as part of the pedestal na very high ang priority. Dapat ang mga magsasaka,
Sila.
po ang nagpapakain ng bansa.
Correct. Kaya nga sa kanila lahat sa kanila nakasalalay yung ating pagkain on a day-to-day basis.
Correct,
No?
correct.
Sabi nga nung iba, hindi mo naman makakain yung pera mo.
At gusto
May
kong
pera ka.
bigyan kita ng datos sa level of investment. I-compare natin yung mga dito sa neighboring countries, sa ASEAN. Ang level of investment for their agriculture sector is now at 4 to 6% of their annual budget.
Oh.
So 4 to 6%. What about the Philippines? Nasa 1.5 to 2% lang
Of the annual budget.
of the annual budget.
Oh, okay.
So, if that has been the case previously, talagang
Hindi
gasping for breath
Yes,
ang
oh.
tawag ko dito. Ang gasping for gasoline.
Yes.
But good, of course, nakikita naman natin itong lately under the present administration na tumataas naman yung budget. But of course, you have to ask whether we are properly utilizing, what is
Right.
allocated for the sector.
So, importante rin talaga yung we may have the money, but the proper utility, the utilization of the funds for that.
Tama
Diba?
po. At there are three major relating to that. Not only one of them already is utilizing properly the investments available, which is one of the very important strategies to make Philippine agriculture productive and competitive. The other two would include strong institutions.
You're
and
talking about cooperatives?
agriculture. Yeah. Part of that is the institutions of farmers, like
okay.
cooperatives. And part of strong institutions would be the relevant expertise manning all these various
Yes.
bureaus, agencies, regions, and the like. So that's very important if you want to really elevate, if you want to accelerate increasing productivity or boosting productivity and increasing the incomes of farmers. And the second one, pang-tatlo na, because nauna na kanina yung utilizing the increasing investments.
Yes.
The last one is, do we have the supporting policies that would, give the impetus to enhancing growth and development of the sector? So these three are very important. And the second level would be the right interventions, the right programs and projects.
Okay. The policies, of course, would be coming from legislation.
Legislature plus the executive.
Executive.
Yeah.
Yeah, kasi pagkatapos nyon, siyempre, everything has to be signed into law. Which
Tama.
brings me now to this problem that has always been the problem, Secretary. Ang tagal nag-movement ng legislation minsan. Minsan back and forth, ganyan-ganyan. Are there any things that we can do, we can do or we can have
Okay.
to just do it outside of Congress, outside of legislation, maybe bring in I don't know, you're more an expert for
let's
this.
try if we can do it. Why not within the legislative parlance? Kasi during the was it early 90s, there was this decentralization law, which means the extension delivery system in agriculture have been given to the local government units, devolved sa government units. So if you look at the whole value chain system, the whole flow, ay mayroon kang, kasi wala ng tauhan, wala ng opisina, ang Department of Agriculture doon sa local government units.
Okay.
So na-transfer yan lahat sa mga local government units. Now the problem lies when the local government unit is not giving high priority to food security or to agriculture. And that's really a major challenge today in helping the farmers, because without them, there is really a disjointed agricultural, delivery system.
So yung what we're having now, as in from since time immemorial, I have listened and I have heard them say that we are now building farm to market roads here and there. So it's still not sufficient. Yung mga ganyan, no?
Yeah, FMR has been one of the key programs and the budget is increasing. However, always those in legislature also has their own priority. To say this is what I really want you
Want
to consider in the
Yeah.
FMR.
That's right.
It would be a good thing, really, that we construct these farm to market roads where you encourage more production and where you can accelerate mobility in the delivery production from or this produced from the production areas to the markets.
So we really need to expand more food highways.
True, true
Food-
enough.
food highways.
So very much so, infrastructure is very badly needed. If there should be a build, or build better more.
Build better
For
more.
agriculture, it should be the agri-infrastructure like farm-to-market roads, post-harvest facilities
Yes,
included,
yes.
including warehouses, drying facilities, the bagsakan areas. Marami pang kailangan. Rice processing facilities and
Yes.
the like.
Okay, ito, buti na lang, I'm really talking to the expert. Sec, this has been my, this has always been my sama ng loob, no? And it has been ongoing for how many years since I was younger, before pa I entered politics and all these things, no? Ang naaalala ko niyan lagi, merong several instances na tayo ay maraming pagkain, maraming produce, and yet, ang bandang huli, mga farmers natin, binibenta na lang ng patalo. Yung iba, na tawag dito, na tayo, nasisiraan or nawawala, nagiging damaged goods napapasay na, hindi na fresh. And yet, we all have this, especially in Baguio or
Tama.
in the Ilocos area.
Tama ka, Joe, na marami dapat pagawain ang gobyerno, just to emphasize the kind of investment government must do. Itong mga food hubs natin, yung mga trading posts, and cold storages, warehouses. Kasi ang post-harvest losses after harvest is around 30% or more even. So, if we are able to manage these losses, wala sana tayong inaangkat properly. I mean, if we do have all these relevant infrastructure, post-harvest facilities na kailangan ng mga magsasaka, starting from rice, sa corn, sa high-value crops and the like. Talagang kulang na kulang.
Politica all the way. Politica all the way. Politica all the way.
Maganda yung sinabi mo, na meron tayong, ang dami natin mga farm-to-market roads, pero parang hindi ko yata nakikita yung mga cold storage facilities and post-harvest facilities. And I think, yung especially now, those running, yung mga kaibigan natin, I think they should
Opo.
focus more on that, no?
Dapat kung may congressional funds sila na pwedeng gamitin, dapat i-promise na nila na ito, magpatayo ako ng malaking warehouse dito, ito, malaking rice processing facility. Hindi yung kung ano-ano lang yung proyekto nila.
Oh, yeah.
Because that will really help solve itong ating problema sa post-harvest losses. And of course, on top of that, yung logistics, yung moving the goods from one place to the market. This is still a dream to look at.
Right. Pati nga yun, hindi lang sa actual earth products I think pati yung mga ano natin, Sec, is it safe to say na doon din ang kailangan natin when it comes to the fish? ating mga fish
Everything.
ports,
Anything
no?
about
Anything-
agricultural produce, the same, more or less, the same ang problema. Ng post-harvest, problem sa facilities, because marami tayong talagang waste na nangyayari kung walang itong mga facilities na ito.
Did you, during your term with President FPRRD, no? Kay Digong last, did you present this to
we
him?
started presenting all these ideas. And remember, during that time, it was COVID years.
Oh, yes.
So we have started some projects already along the lines. And we were ready. There was the idea of Bayanihan, the next Bayanihan budget, and we should have laid down the regional food trading centers that we wanted to have. But unluckily, walang dumating na pundo for the Bayanihan 3.
Oh, and this was under ano na no, medyo inabutan na tayo sa ng ano niyan. Yan yung COVID time na.
Yeah.
So hindi na rin na
2019 ako pumasok. COVID came March of 2020.
2020. Oh, tama. Siyempre parang prep time. Ito na before it was launched, pumasok na ngayon yung COVID,
But
ano?
maybe I would like to mention na while it is true it was COVID time, 2020, 2021, ay walang problema masyado ng presyo ng mga pagkain. Walang nagutom. Of course, mayroon mga pantries na nagbibigay sa mga tao ng yung hindi kaya na bumili, but there was enough food. Distribution was not a big issue. And so inflation was not much.
Not much. Yung food security natin, I think this administration yata, the present administration, declared a national food emergency, national food
National National Food Security
emergency, no?
Particularly managing the prices of rice. Kasi
But
di
this
ba,
is not supply.
managing the prices, both it has something to do with the availability of supply and of course with the increasing demand because population growth is almost 1.5% annually pa rin. So as high as 60 pesos, 65, 2 months, 3 months ago yung presyohan ng bigas. Mabuti na lang, bumababa ngayon. They put up, of course, muna yung reduction of the tariff of rice imports from 35% tariff to, I think, 15%. That's one thing that was employed, which we employed before, because that can really tame the rising inflation in food. And the second strategy mechanism that they have put in place, yung tinatawag nila na maximum suggested retail price. So they started with 58 pesos per kilo of imported rice way back about 2 months ago. Now they are at 45 pesos
45 pesos.
per kilo.
So yung 20 pesos, that's still the 20 pesos, 25 pesos higher than the projected 20 supposed to be.
True.
Na we're
Yeah,
gunning for. Di ba?
That was a
posible pa
promise.
ba yan?
Ako, sinabi ko na openly with all the, data that we have, 20 pesos is impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. From day one, we gave the calculation, the possibility of having it at 27, 28 pesos could be good. I mean, we could achieve that level.
Achievable yan.
But with the increasing geopolitical issues also impacting all of
Yes.
these agricultural inputs, we
right.
import a lot of fertilizers and the like. The prices of palay now have gone up. And the price then was 19 pesos per kilo palay. They raised up to 23 pesos, up to 30 pesos. The normal way of translating that into rice prices is, though you have to times 2, multiply it by 2. I mean, if the price of palay is 23, then times 2, that should be 46 pesos ang
Per
kilo
kilo.
of rice. So ganon.
Yun
Yung
ang-
20, wala na yon.
wala na yun talaga.
Wala na yon.
Well, kanina you mentioned about the fertilizer. I heard somewhere na with all this going on in government, both outside and government, we can use that as
Oh
fertilizer.
yes, the organic fertilizers can complement, but
Oh.
it's not enough.
Oh.
Hindi po sapat, even if you have the supply, but there's not much supply of organic materials. It's not enough because they lack all the levels of nutrients
Proper
needed by the
nutrients.
crop.
Oo.
Yeah.
Well, I was referring actually naman Sec, with the going on in and out of government. That it can be
Oh yeah.
Which makes me
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
make it a little bit more light. At least alam na
Correct.
natin na napaka-important sa validation Sec of our previous interviews also na talaga napaka-importante ng agrikultura.
Now, sa bigas pa rin tayo, Joe.
sige.
Let me bring you the yearly level of production we have reached about, in 2021, we reached 19.6 million metric tons already. Then 2022, nasa 20 million na.
And that's good.
Yeah, it's a good development, and hoping that tuloy-tuloy sana yon. But a year after ay bumaba. Hanggat 2024 bumaba yung production ng rice. So now how can you bring a higher level of production of rice sustainably? Ang isang, alam mo naman, agrikultura ay ang kailangan na number one diyan ay patubig. O
Yes,
tubig.
irrigation.
And you know, we have more or less about 3 million hectares of rice, and about one half of that to 1.7 million metric tons ay mayroon ng irrigation. Pero yung other 1.2 to 1.3 million ay rain-fed, so sahod ulan.
Sa ulan. Right.
Now, for us to really go that level of production sa rice, we need to invest heavily in irrigation systems development. Again, infra.
Infra pa rin.
It's a bioengineering solution.
Right.
So, yung sana yung mga akap nila, lahat yung mga congressional funds na yan, ay bigay na lang sa development of irrigation systems. Then, we can really make a dent in terms of our investments in irrigation systems development.
Ay, talagang ano pala, which brings me now to what you said earlier, na talagang there has to be proper utilization of the funds that
There
are
you
coming
are.
out.
Yes.
Di ba? Kasi kadalasan yan, meron na pala tayong, andyan naman yung pera, andyan naman yung technology. Hindi lang na-funnel to the right programs, at hindi lang na-funnel na napupunta doon sa mga tamang mga equipment for the agricultural sector.
Yeah, there's a lot of efficiencies to be improved in the implementation of all the programs and projects today.
This can be done under all of this can be done under executive order.
Oh
di ba?
yes.
Oh.
And I was mentioning already about that devolution thing in of agriculture to the LGUs. When I was there as secretary, because we knew that already, it was a big concern, a big challenge. So we put up a bold move by institutionalizing what I call a province-led agriculture and fisheries extension system. Ang ibig po sabihin ay bigyan natin ang ibigay natin ang liderato doon sa probinsya. At ang DA will be a supporting cast dito sa devolved system. At see to it that you have a joint program, a joint project planning and implementation. So it's being done now, but I would say it can be much more elevated. I mean, in terms of doing it more seriously. Kasi that's the call of the hour, to mobilize properly the engagement of all LGUs, including the extension agents that are working with the LGUs.
Right. I think that's the best thing to do. Tama yung sinabi mo na yan. I agree with you 101%, Sec. Dapat you get everyone involved in
Agree,
it. No?
I agree.
Oh, para kumbaga, all of those people who have stakes in it,
Now, if
kasama.
you can elevate that, an executive order can be put up to give more teeth into this arrangement.
Right.
And eventually, while working with the legislature, to bring back the extension agents back to the folds of the Department of Agriculture.
That's correct.
So these are all the basic strategies.
Yun ang kanina sinabi ko nga na kaya tinanong kita agad, second, this can be done by executive order.
Yeah.
So, okay lang yun, at least if it's, we channel it through the executive, DEO, at least 3 years tumatakbo yan.
Yes.
Di ba?
Opo.
And for the last remaining 3 years. And then, of course, it will work.
Politica all the way. Politica all the way. Politica all the way.
I am presently with Go Negosyo, so kinausap na namin dati si Secretary Benhor
Okay.
Abalos when he was there at DILG. Kasi tiningnan ko yung seal of good local governance. SG, good local, SGLG,
SGLD.
whatever. So, nakita namin walang event or activity on food security. And that this is all the LGUs being evaluated.
Right.
Maybe health, nandyan, sanitation and the like, but walang pagkain.
Walang pagkain.
So sabi ko kay Sec Benhor, why not we institutionalize as part of the parameters ng SGLG ninyo para sa ganon ay bibigyan ng LGU ng budget at maganda ang implementasyon. Until now, I don't know if that has been institutionalized.
Yung basing it on location, Sec, no? Kasi there are areas na are kumbaga sila yung areas na to are good for farming rice. There are areas that are good for farming other maybe fruits and vegetables.
Tama
ganyan.
po.
Oh,
There
diba?
are crop suitability
Yes,
requirements.
Yeah, oo.
So mayroon yung mga kalupaan na akma lang sa rice. Mas lalo na kung wala kang patubig, ay gamitin mo dapat yan sa either high value crops or kung kulang na kulang, you go to plantation crops, yung mga tree crops. Ganon. So,
Aware naman na tayo dyan, no? Alam na ng government natin
that is
yan,
an
lahat,
open
everything.
book. And alam nila lahat yan. But of course, there are technologies that are not properly used. Example na lang. You know, sa fertilizers, anything na i-grow natin na crops, kailangan yan ng pagkain eh. So in general tayo sa Pilipinas, compared to other countries na mataas ang productivity, ay well-fertilized ang kanilang mga halaman. Sa atin ay parang konti lang ang fertilization. So that's one. The plant nutrition. We are not giving the right plant nutrition so that we can get the best of yields at the end of the cycle. So, ganun po ang problema. Now, another thing, the reason why you need now to have a more holistic way of appreciating yung yung how your plants are growing is to also look at your soils.
Yeah.
Yung soils, whether they are already degraded or kulang na ang organic matter, kulang na ang mga micronutrients, mga ganon. Eh tayo halos hindi natin tinitignan. So when I was...
Do you, do you have to lack of technology? Like mga soil, ano?
The technology is there, except we are not, government did not have much of the wherewithal to make it possible na ganun dapat modern farming at yung technology base mo, soil health. We're talking of soil health
Soil
here.
health, yeah.
So the first thing to do is really to have a massive soil testing so that you know whether the 16 elements are still present.
Okay.
Kasi 16 ang elements mo, 13 ang macro elements needing in big volumes and micro elements. And they are all equally important. Although
To produce
various
the best
degree
yield.
of So halos karamihan ng lupa natin ay ganun na nga. So you need to have soil testing to go to the next step. Ano yung dapat gagawin? Mag-apply ba tayo ng calcium para ma-neutralize yung soil? Mga ganon.
Okay.
Mag-apply pa ba? Like for example, Joe, ang kalupaan natin, because of its continuous usage all this time, from a high of 10 to 12% of organic matter level, ngayon ay nasa 1 to 2%. So, kokonti na lang. Meaning, alam mo, the soil has, kung mataas ang organic matter, ang soil, ay that will enhance or encourage the soil microorganisms to do their work, to produce the nutrients for the plants.
Right.
Ito ay kulang. So you need to bring back that level of organic matter. That's why the use of organic materials are key, but not to replace inorganic fertilizer. It should be a combination
Combination of
both inorganic plus organic fertilizers. So nung nandun ako, inumpisan namin, we institutionalized a strategy called balanced fertilization strategy.
Balanced fertilization
Meaning,
strategy.
let's target, the next 5 to 10 years, let's reduce to 50% level the use of chemical fertilizers and bring in organic fertilizers. So that's one way to rebuild your soil health. So yun ang mga technologies na massively it has to be done.
Hindi pala no? Meron pa man ding, it's a positive conception, no? That in the minds of the Filipinos, we have a very fertile land. Yung
Degraded na karamihan.
Degraded na pala tayo.
Opo.
And it needs to be taken care of.
Tama. Like anybody, tayo kung walang proper nutrition, ano mangyayari? Ganun din ang kalupaan.
Wow. Ngayon ko lang. And that's coming from a son of a farmer who actually toiled and ngayon ko lang nakita nyo mga kaibigan, mga kapolitika all the way na hindi, medyo dapat alisin na rin natin pala hindi naman talaga, be mindful of our soil. Kasi lagi natin sinasabi na, napaka-fertile na. We should not rest on any...
So what I did, nung nandun ako, kasi alam ko ito, galing ako sa India, I stayed there 15 years managing ICRISAT. And we exactly, we help one state of India, that's Karnataka, in the rain-fed agriculture. So, about 3 million hectares ang sinoil analysis namin, So, alam namin yung kulang. So, every farmer was given a soil health card. At alam natin ano yung kulang doon. So, yun ang i-apply dapat. Ganun dapat dito. So, here, we set up a program of more or less the same. Ang first year, we got 500 million. There was even an attempt by some, I would say, politicians to divert that money. but I stood
Firm on that,
with
no?
my ground that this is needed because I wanted the first phase is to upgrade our regional laboratories, soil laboratories, because we have all over the country, but the equipment are really not state of the art. So I wanted to upgrade 16 regional soils laboratory. So nagtagumpay tayo na we went that first phase. The second phase would have been the massive soil testing. I don't know if they have done that. Because pag natapos mo yung phase 2, phase 3 is now the application of the right fertilization.
Okay, if you talk, this is a process that we're supposed to be undertaking para lang gumanda ang
Yes.
ating produce, no? At the end of the day. How long is this kind of process, Sec? Mahaba ba ito? Itong yung sinasabi mo from soil testing to actual
Madali lang yun, Joe. Madali lang.
making our soil healthy. Ganyan.
Siguro, pag tama yung binili nila na equipment, kasi kung state-of-the-art equipment yon, ipass mo lang yung soil sample, the readings come out. Kasi kagaya doon sa mga health laboratories ngayon. So,
Parang ano lang, diagnostics mo yan.
dati-dati it will take 3 months, 6
Yes,
months. So it can now be done. Sabihin mo in 6 months tapos lahat sana kung properly done.
Properly done.
Oh, so
If there are no politics involved.
correct. Yun. So,
Which is,
I still would like to suggest na that must be done. Massive soil testing program all over the country. And you do that every 6 years.
every 6 years.
Yeah.
Tamang-tama yan. Parang palit ng presidente.
Tama. Kaya may term yun na 6 years din para...
Pero, it's nakakatawang, nakakalungkot na isa sa talagang problema natin, hindi lang, lalo na ngayon sa agrikultura, dapat sana tatakbo na tayo ng maayos. It's safe to say that there's still also a bit too much of politics involved. That's why hindi tayo nagpo-progress.
Maganda sana may politika na supportive, na hindi yung ida-divert yung mga pondo sa iba. So, yung buhusan nila sana ang agrikultura at properly invested with various infra projects and other supporting mechanisms like itong mga soil testing and the like.
And my hats off to you and my snappy salute, Sec, na hindi you stood your ground. Hindi ka nagpaano sa mga...
Tama ka at of course I always go to the president and say, will I keep my position on this subject?
And he was good at it.
Okay naman.
Okay naman siya. Okay naman
Oo,
siya.
so-
Good. Good.
Maganda yon kung mayroong presidente na also wanting to make a difference, why not? It can be done.
It can be done.
Can be done.
Have you talked to the president, to BBM about this, or president about this
Well,
already?
I had
Kasi, it's a very inclusive government. Your expertise and your heart for this is what we actually need.
I had the chance during the campaign period when he was running. Of course, he was all ears to what I was saying. But after election, wala na kaming communication. So, okay lang. Nasa sideline tayo, but not really doing nothing. I am now presently engaged, as I've said, with Go Negosyo as an advisor to Joey Concepcion.
Politica all the way. Politica all the way. Politica all the way.
One thing that we are trying to solve, alam mo ba ang big challenge sa Philippine agriculture din, Joe, yung small land holdings. Diba? As a result of the land reform program, which answered maybe social injustice before, but now it has become also, after how many years, small land holdings cannot grow your food sustainably. You know, if you have to look for an eye for export orientation, you should have economies of scales. And even granting for your requirements in the country, the economies of scale will bring you to have the best of technologies, to have the best of management know-how, the credit availability, and the market. So one arrangement that we are advocating is we bring the big players of the agribusiness industry. We call them big brothers. Under the Go Negosyo Kapatid Angat Lahat Agri Program, KALAP. So these are the big brothers of agri-industry that want to enhance their business production until they value add and export. So karamihan nitong mga private sector, yun ang approach nila, value chain system. So on the other hand, you have the farmers cooperatives or association. So nung nandun ako sa DA din, ang isang strategy na we started implementing is cluster farming. Kasi with the problem of economies of scale, mas maganda na tulungan mo yung isang grupo na magsasaka or grupo na kooperatiba na magsasaka in terms of the machineries they need. Say for a group of 100 hectares na rice farming or corn farming, ay you can also introduce the best technologies, of course mechanization. Again, the credit support also from government. Kasi ang credit facilities na ngayon ng gobyerno ay para sa magsasaka, 4% na lang. Land Bank of the Philippines for one, DBP. So, maganda na yung credit support. Interest rates are too low now. And of course, even encouraging the large firms to, they have also the money from government to lend it at 6% for the big
That's
firms.
good, actually. That's
So
low
that's
interest
good,
rates.
the capital. So we are enhancing a partnership between the big brothers with the
The small players.
small farmers or the
Yes,
cluster of
the cluster.
co-ops of farmers. In that way, there could be many modalities. Contract growing has been one of the many arrangements that have been found successful in the past. It can be very successful today and in the future, as long as we also inculcate in the minds of our big brothers yung inclusive business approach natin. So, yun, we are in our third year of implementing this Kapatid Angat Lahat program in agriculture.
Well, that being said, nakakatuwa yung ganun na getting everyone involved. Tsaka
Yes.
maganda rin kasi yung nakikita ng mga farmers, yung sincerity of the big brothers or the big businesses, if you will, that they're also after the welfare of
Of the small farmers.
the small farmers.
That's the meaning of inclusivity there.
Yes, at least.
Yeah.
Yung dem level na yun, nagkakasundo na lahat
Correct.
ng...
Yeah.
But-
So, not only that, so itong KALAP is the platform dito sa Philippines. You know, the experience we had in KALAP, we brought it to the ASEAN Business Advisory Council level. Ito ay yung Business Advisory Council. These are business people in the ASEAN, hindi yung gobyerno. So private sector ito. Si Joey Concepcion is the ASEAN-backed Philippines chair. And we initiated itong bringing to that level, ASEAN-backed level, ang concern natin sa food security, ASEAN level. So, last year, inaprubahan yung konsepto ng ASEAN Food Security Forum. So yun, and we are now enhancing that APSA, ASEAN Food Security Alliance, okay, APSA. Because by next year, si Joey now will be chairing the ASEAN Business Advisory Council dito sa Philippines.
Good,
Karamihan
good.
gagawin.
Yeah.
And that will be one of the legacy projects that Joey would like to be sustained in a big way, itong ASEAN Food Security Alliance. So here, the whole business of encouraging business to business also between business people to join forces, to partner together, to have joint ventures so that we can have more business events or activities within the ASEAN.
That's right, that's right.
Okay,
And it
so-
also open avenues also for like, again, yung mga cluster farmers natin.
Tama po.
Oo,
At
di ba?
nakikita natin,
Bigger venues, bigger
there you are.
business corporations involved. Oh.
Like we have had now some agreements, some big companies now dito sa Pilipinas. For example, Durian. Ubel is under the leadership of James Peña Florida ay nakipag-MOA na with a Malaysian partner. They want to bring the best durian variety to be planted here in the Philippines, Musang King. Okay? So they are targeting 2,000 hectares in Mindanao.
Wow.
So lately, mayroon National Irrigation Administration naman dito sa atin, headed by Administrator Eddie Guillen, who knows the CALAP program, yung Kapatid Angat Lahat Agri-program. And one good thing with NIA, all over the country, in areas where there is irrigation systems, nag-organize sila dati ng Irrigators Association. So they are the very organized groups of farmers. Now they are pursuing to convert them into cooperatives. So the NIA is now presenting the opportunity with our big brothers. We just had the meeting last Tuesday, so that they can partner with these cooperatives of irrigators, you know,
Yes, yes, yes.
be it in rice production, in corn production, even in vegetable production. Having the whole group being involved. So there you are, the power of partnership, PPP, public-private partnership,
Partnerships, right.
can make a big difference. And hoping that we can make some headways with the National Irrigation Administration, with CALAP, Go Negosyo, showcasing some partnership this year.
Yung involvement mo dyan and the involvement of Joey Concepcion is a validation also of the sincerity of the private sector and the
Oh,
business
yes.
sector to
Tama
really
po.
get your dip your hands in it. Hindi lang basta tayo talk na ano, 'di ba? Talagang there's some movement to it, no?
Tama po. At alam mo, ang agrikultura, when I was there, by the end of my stint, itong kay Duterte administration, mayroon kaming nagawa na strategic plan for 10 years, starting 22 to 32. And the projected investment for 10 years is about 10 trillion pesos.
Okay.
But we saw to it na we identified the investment of government, which is requiring about 5 trillion, and the investment of the private sector is equivalent also to 5 trillion.
Wow,
So
tapatan, no?
you know,
Tatapatan
because
yan,
government cannot put up all the capital requirements
yes,
to develop agriculture.
Wow, we're so pressed for. This always happens, Sec. No? Kita mo, marami pa tayong. I was going to ask you so many other things about politics and things that are happening now.
Well, the tariffs is the most recent.
Oo nga eh. We should do this again. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Oh, and this time, hindi naman siguro natin
Sige po.
on your birthday kasi talagang hinata ka lang namin
Salamat
dito.
po, salamat
And
po.
happy birthday to you.
Salamat.
You don't look over a year over 40. You look like life begins pa lang.
Sabi ko nga, ang puso ko ay 40 years old. But I'm now 72 years old.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, you look great for someone who's 72 and you move well too, ha?
Thank
Pati
you.
ang agility mo. And the
Salamat.
good looks is still there, ha? Tama lang yung 40. Tama lang yung 40 you said.
That makes me young.
Okay, what's your, from the Secretary of Agriculture and your expertise on all this, what is your prayer for our country at this point?
Well, we pray, kasi hindi lang ako dapat ang magpre-pray that our leaders come together and resolve their differences, because we have only one country, and the country is in need of all the resolve to grow as much as we could, all the priority sectors, much more agriculture today. So sana wala nang bangayan. At ang ating bansa ay nandyan maraming problema. Marami rin global political developments na dapat natin asikasuhin. Also, the tariffs of US have come. We really have to do our homework again, have an action plan. How can we make agriculture be more competitive? Because if not, then mahihirapan ulit ang ating mga magsasaka. And the consuming public will suffer because of higher prices and maybe potential recession.
Well, that being said, thank you very much, Dr. William Dar, our former Secretary for Agriculture. And
Salamat po.
I think with your prayer and my birthday wish naman is for you to have more, longer, healthier, and productive life.
Salamat
No?
po.
And those produce na lang will come to the produce also of our agricultural sector,
Salamat
which is
po.
your validation of this.
Salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Secretary
Salamat
Dar,
po.
on the Politica All the Way.
Politica all the way.
Marami pong salamat muli, Secretary William Dar. Alright, just a bit of recap sa ating pong napag-usapan. Sabi po ni Secretary kanina, doon para actually ito panawagan niya doon sa mga tumatakbo, especially on the national level. Sana pagtuunan natin pansin ang ating food security and focus more on agriculture, no? Para po sa ating food security. Yan, importante po yan. And then yung ating po mga magsasaka, dapat itaas na po natin ang antas nila sa ating lipunan. No? They're very, very important people in our society and workers for government and our country also. No? Sabi niya, yung proper utilization of funds is very important, lalo na yung mga unused funds o kung meron man dyan mga ayuda na hindi naman sana, no? Should be allotted to irrigation systems and other post-harvest facilities, no? Para po magamit ng ating mga farmers. And then yung ating pong isang realization din, yung ating kalupaan is not as fertile as it was before. Ito pala medyo nagkakaroon na tayo ng degraded na at medyo hindi na ganun ka-fertile. So we need to make it healthy once more, put in nutrients. And how do we do that? We should introduce again and put in new farming and agri-technology. No, dapat introduce na po natin 'yan at ipasok na natin sa ating agrikultura, no? And lastly, ang kanyang a prayer is my prayer also. Sana tigilan yung mga bangayan at isipin lang po na natin ang ating mamamayan. No? At dyan po nagtatapos ang Politika All the Way. Lagi natin tandaan, lagi pong diskusyon, walang away, opinion, hindi ho personalan. This is Jojo A. Peace and love.
Politica all the way. Politica all the way.